Hello and welcome to yet another Plant 3D best practices video. My name is Emmanuel Maenda. I'm a technical sales specialist, and in this video we are going to discuss on how you can add architecture objects in your Plant 3D orthographic drawings. So today's agenda is really quite brief, explaining the workflow on the architecture model best practices, what you need to consider, what you need to add, how to go about the process of adding orthographic views, and then we do a recap of all this. So prior to AutoCAD Plant 3D 2025 is that it was quite difficult and sometimes even inefficient to bring in a Plant 3D model to document the orthographic views of that Plant 3D model, because you either have to bring in a Plant 3D model as a Navisworks coordination file, so Navisworks cache file into Docs, through Docs, bring that into Revit, and then have that coordinated in the Revit environment. Or if you also want to bring in that Revit model into Plant 3D, it comes in as a Navisworks cache file, and you just basically have to attach it as a coordination model. Now with the new Plant 3D 2025, it's now possible to include architecture objects in your orthographic drawings. So if you have models that you've built with or you've designed using AutoCAD Architecture, AutoCAD MEP, or Autodesk Advanced Steel, you can now be able to show these objects as part of your orthographic drawings. And there is also a new system variable introduced as of Plant 3D 2025, which is the Plant Auto AEC top model. So this system variable allows you to be able to display the top view plans as an example of this MEP or architecture objects brought into AutoCAD Plant 3D. The default is always off, so you have to make sure that it's turned on. There are also some orthographic improvements that are part of this new release. For example, a modern redesigned auto creation dialog box that you can minimize, and you can move the dialog box across the screen. But it also has a caveat there that even as you're creating an auto, I observed that it's possible for the software to hang. So you need to make sure that as you create the orthographic views, do not just don't do anything else. If you need to do anything inside the program, all you just have to do is just press cancel. So it's always recommended not to perform any operations during the auto generation process. So we can jump into the product and then see how everything else comes together. So it actually starts within AutoCAD MEP. If you have AutoCAD MEP, you have the ability to do a very basic to something somewhat complex of a building model, such as what you're seeing here on the screen. And these elements, such as the slabs, such as the doors, also have layer properties that you can see here from the properties panel. In addition, you also do have that ability inside of AutoCAD MEP to even do something a little bit more complex, such as addition of fire sprinkler systems, cable trays, model all that. And you can see an example of how this actually looks on AutoCAD MEP, as well as some sample ductwork. You're going to see how in AutoCAD Plant 3D you can bring all that together and then create an orthographic drawing. So I just want you to pay close attention to how this looks like in AutoCAD MEP. So next up in AutoCAD Plant 3D project, all you just have to do is bring in your models by simply navigating to the folder that you'd want to place them in, and right click and then copy the drawing to the project. So I've gone ahead and added some of those architecture and MEP components in to this project. The other thing that I also want to show you is that you can also add your advanced steel model, and this is just an example of a very basic, super basic AutoCAD Autodesk advanced steel model that has been added. Then the next step, once you have that in, is that once you just open them, you can see them. You can actually see these models, and even when you click on the object itself and just want to extract the properties, you can see the layer properties are also visible, and you can see, as you can see from the example. One other very important step not to miss is to use the Plant AEC, Plant Ortho AEC top model system variable. Make sure that it is on. That way, when Plant 3D creates orthographic views, whether it's a top view or it's a front view or whichever kind of a view, it will include the top representation plan. For example, for this door, you'd want to see the representation of the door or the window at that top level. In addition to that, also being able to see the stairs, because you wouldn't want to have something like this in your orthographic drawing. So you make sure that you have that one set to on. Once that is completed, you just go simply to your orthographic drawings, and just giving an example here, I can just give it a name. Give it a name, select the template. Once that is done, I can now go into this drawing and then select create a new view. Now you select the drawings that you want included in this. So for example, just select the ones that I think are very important here. Once that one is completed, I will allows me to now create, do some bit of settings. For example, this view I can now reduce, change the scale, jog the drawing if I need to. So you can actually jog it. I'll make sure that my hidden line piping setting is on, and then set my drawing scale to be 150. And then once that is done, if I also have any location offset, which is something that you can set up in the project setup, which is something that you can do later on, just go ahead and click OK. And then once you have that, you can place it in your title block. So it's important while this is happening, you don't do anything else, but there is an overall performance improvement in the auto generation process, that it's taking a lot less time to create this, and you can see a really nice looking view automatically created. So voila, you'll see from this example that these doors, the stairs, the windows, the cable trays, the advanced steel connections. Of course, it just depends on how you set up the view cube, how you configure the view cube. But you can see that this is something really nice to have in your Plant 3D orthographic views. So we can look at the summary. The new Plant 3D as of 2025, you now do have the ability to create orthographic drawings with the addition of architecture or MEP objects being displayed in an orthographic view. You actually need, if you have AutoCAD architecture or AutoCAD MEP Or if you also need to also include your Autodesk Advanced Steel models, that is also supported. And there is also this new system variable that determines your objects, how they are going to be displayed in the orthographic drawings. So you make sure that you have them turned on because the default value is always off. With that, thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment with your feedback. Or if you have any questions, please write me a message. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit the bell icon so that you never miss an update. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.